الله الكبير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله الكبير. Again, we are here by God's grace, and we are healthy, and we are in a position to go through this exercise, and this is a huge blessing from God, and it's a mercy and kindness and the immense love that He has for us, that He has arranged this for us, and we are indebted to Him eternally. And this is a huge honor for us that we are again the recipient of this huge blessing and mercy and favor from God. Again, all of these are by divine design and providence, and so we have to remember that these are not by fortune or luck or something like that. That never happens. Everything is mathematically coded, and we all have numbers that are assigned to us, and God knows that number, and that number has a position in the universe, and it's eternal. And so that gives us hope and aspiration that we are here at God's will and mercy and kindness, and we are surrounded by all of this huge favor that God has bestowed upon us today. And so we should pray and ask God to keep us in that position, in the position that we are honored and we are blessed, and give us the strength to maintain this devotion to God, and make sure that we ask Him to keep us on that path and make us grateful to Him. And and we are obviously not able to be grateful enough to God, so we are asking Him to force us, to make us, to turn us into appreciative and grateful people. That we know that everything's coming from God, and He's the provider of everything that we have. And again, don't lose hope. Everything that God is describing to us is full of hope, and it's a beauty out there that we are after, and that's beauty of God, and that's for eternal existence that God is promising us. And so, at His sight, and so we have to make sure that we understand it, and we stay worthy of this huge blessing and honor that He's given us today. So again, let's all thank God for this opportunity that we have. And again, as usual, God is speaking to us in the language of mathematics, and so. So what I want to do is I want to go to our files here, or on files, and I'm going to open this thing. And again, this is on the web already. I put it there, so you don't have to write anything down. Just relax and listen and enjoy this. And so we are worthy of this huge blessing, and God has seen it fit for us that we are the recipient of this huge honor. Okay, so as I said, so we have been talking about these Ulam Primes, and the 19th Ulam Prime, as we've been discussing, is 1103. And on the other hand, this 1103 is also the index of prime 8849. And 8849 happens to be a Pythagorean prime. And immediately we see that this 19th Ulam Prime, through this mechanism that God has designed, through these numbers that God has put in there for a reason, 548th Additive Prime is 9127. Okay? So 4 bullets, and we got right there to 9127 from the 19th Ulam Prime. Okay? And again, Surah 9 has 127 verses. So this is a huge honor that He has given us. That we have this in front of our eyes, Okay? This is like parting the Red Sea. Okay? The same thing that generates these 4 or 5 bullets here that we have, okay? It also tells us that the Red Sea parted by God's command. Okay? The same thing. It tells us exactly the same history. That is the same history. We know that that is the truth because you and I were not there. We didn't see it. But now we see it. Okay? So we knew items below previously. Okay? So hence I just copied from the other findings that we have through this huge file that I put for you guys. Okay, for everybody to see in the world. Okay, so, and it's searchable. You can search for things, so you can search for 548, Composite is 670, you can find it in there. 670th verse in the Uninitialed Surah, okay, is 9127. Okay. Can you imagine? Immediately. 548 prime is 3947. Okay. The 279th Gaussian prime is also 3947. Note that the last verse in the compiled version of the Quran, 114.6, happens to be the 279th verse revealed in the Uninitialed Surahs in the Quran. Okay. So, let us see what verse 279 says. Therefore, woe to those who write the scripture with their own hands and say this is from God in order to obtain a cheap material gain. Woe to them for what they wrote, and woe to them for what they gained. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. In the language of mathematics, we just learned about all of this. So if I want to talk about this, by the way, 279 is also the frequency of Taha in chapter 20. Okay? And I haven't mentioned this in here. It's in there. You can search for it. In more details, it's there. In this long paper that I put there online for you. So it's there. You can search for it. And it's all there. All the information is there. Okay. So, and 548, I haven't even talked about it. Okay, this is again, 670. It goes to 670, and so it is amazing. It's amazing that the way that this book is working, okay? And we are, as I said, we are blessed, okay, to be the recipient of all of this information. So if we want to go through this whole thing, as I said, you can look for these things in this thing, in this huge article, and it tells you exactly what these numbers are, more and more and more. They cascade. Every one of them generates that. They're all based on the number 19. Okay? Various primes. And, we discussed this the last time, and Ulam Prime, I described it here from Wikipedia. In mathematics, Ulam numbers comprise an integer sequence devised by the named, devised by and named after Stanislav Ulam, and introduced in 1964. Right? So my point is that we cannot describe this before 1964 because we didn't know it. These other things that I'm mentioning here cannot be described back then because that wasn't the time for it. Okay? Now is the time. And that time and the place is totally designed by God. Okay, so today, as I said all the time, I say this, okay, we are in a bigger universe, and it's expanding. Every second that passes, 72 kilometers per second per megaparsec. Megaparsecs is the size of the so-called local group of galaxies. Local group of galaxies are the our Milky Way, Andromeda Galaxy, and the Triangulate Galaxy. There are 3 galaxies. That's an order of 1 megaparsec. This 1 megaparsec, every second it increases by 72 kilometers. That's its velocity. It gets bigger. That's the expansion of the universe. Okay, and we are here. This is not the same universe that your fathers lived in and your grandfathers lived in. It was a different thing. They had their own tests. They had their own knowledge. We are here and we have this knowledge now. And we have to embrace it. We have to embrace this knowledge that God has given us and be grateful for what He has given us. Okay. These numbers can be explained to anybody. Okay. And the other thing is, the other beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to go through the details of this mathematics. We don't know the details of this mathematics. We don't know the relation between these numbers and the indices or the inter-indexal relation of these numbers. We have no clue. So God has chosen this for us and for the humanity and for the entire universe. Let's put it that way. Okay. To show His greatness. Okay. Al-Mutakabbir means that He reflects His greatness in everything that He creates. Chapter 59. Okay? And that's how He does it. He tells us, this is the way I designed it. And so you can be rest assured that nothing is in there by accident. Or luck or opportunity or something that people think about all the time, or fortune. It is something, it's a grand design, and only God knows that design based on these numbers. And no one else does. So, and again, we see that, we see throughout the Quran. Okay? He says that He gives certain information. Okay, that's what He says. He tells us in chapter 72. Okay, chapter begins. God is telling us, okay, that He gives it to a messenger which He chooses certain information about the past and the future, and God said He has assigned a number to everything. Okay? Can you imagine that? He assigned a number to everything, and you know the number of numbers? There's no end. That again shows us God's power. And He shows us the vastness of His creation. How vast it is. Which again, as I said, gives us hope, aspirations. Okay? Put a smile on your face. So this afternoon when you finish with this Jummah, which is again a blessing from God, that He's chosen us to have this occasion today. Okay. We are honored that you are actually able to do this. We are blessed and honored and favored by God that we are here and we are in this unique position to receive this information, okay, and be a happier and a better servant of God in the afternoon. Okay. That's what we have to think like. That's what we have to look at this universe. And so, no hopelessness. It's all full of happiness and cheers and everything. So we go along with God's design. And that's what we should do. Okay. I'm going to stop here. We'll finish this.